If you're asking me if he dominates the room, I would have to say no.
Undictatorial, un-Caesar-like.
It was like talking to somebody you've known all your life.
As President Obama prepares for Thursday's televised healthcare summit, C-SPAN viewers may get a taste of what a select few have already experienced.
If he were talking to me now, he'd say, look, Evan, I know where you're coming from. I agree with your concerns. Frankly, if I was in your position, I might be looking at it that way too.
The question is whether the president can continue his laid-back style, a sort of moderator-in-chief, as he makes a final push for his healthcare overhaul.
I wouldn't mind seeing a little more toughness here and there.
There are few historical parallels.
Good morning, everybody.
But there's one whose personal style could hardly be more different.
Well, Johnson, that takes me back to the days of my youth.
Senator Evan Bayh, who said he's so fed up with congressional dysfunction that he's retiring, didn't serve with Lyndon Johnson, but his father did.
Johnson was a physical presence and force, arm around the shoulder, leaning into you, pushing his finger in your chest, and he would kind of physically get in people's face.
The contrast with Mr. Obama is clear.
He's solicitous, but he's not threatening. That's just not his style. And frankly, in today's Senate, it just wouldn't be effective. Wouldn't be possible. In some respects, might not be legal.
Johnson, after all, is the last Democratic president to get an ambitious agenda through Congress. Arm twisting just isn't Mr. Obama's style, though. Ever since his days as a community organizer in Chicago, he's believed that by sitting down, he could get results.
So I'm going to do it differently. We're going to have a big table.
On the campaign trail, Mr. Obama described how he would conduct healthcare negotiations as an open seminar. He was confident that after listening carefully and appealing to reason, his ideas would win out.
I'll say, okay, well, let's call in our healthcare experts, and they can tell the American people what's true and what's not true.
Always starts off with the policy arguments, making the intellectual case for his point of view.
But in a gridlocked Washington with a unified Republican opposition, there's little faith that debate will be productive.
We're more concerned every day that Democrats spell summit S-E-T-U-P.
In response, the White House has begun to lay the groundwork for an aggressive parliamentary maneuver called reconciliation, in which a bill could be passed using only Democratic votes. It's an option if Thursday's summit brings no progress, and it's partly a recognition of the fact that Mr. Obama's personal approach clearly hasn't worked on Republicans, but has been more effective on his side of the aisle. The left has largely stuck with the president, even as liberal provisions have been dropped. For Senator John D. Rockefeller, at least, a meeting alone with the president was a big help in keeping him on board.
To the extent that he saw me and he cared enough to see me, that had to make some impression on me.
So far, liberals have given up a lot, while moderates have had a big hand in shaping the legislation. Conservative Republicans want even more.
If the president and Democrats in Congress are prepared to scrap the bills that pass the House and the Senate and start over with a clean sheet of paper, House Republicans are ready to sit down.
If the two parties are indeed headed toward a showdown, the reconciliation strategy would bring vehement Republican opposition and be a true test of whether President Obama can twist arms within his own party to make it happen. It would be a different Obama than the one we've seen so far. Majority Leader Steny Hoyer, who's had more chances than most to sit across from the president, has seen flashes of a tougher side that many Democrats may soon see.
A steel in the voice. You can tell it by his body action. He may lean a little forward.
Does he usually win?
I think the presidents generally have the ability to be more successful than the people they're talking to.
I will have a seat at the table. I'll have the biggest chair because I'm president. It'll be like a really comfortable chair.